Hey guys, welcome back. So, as you can see from the title, I went and got fancy on y'all, and I made an artisanal pizza. Everything's local ingredients or fancy smancy imported ingredients. But I felt like making a homemade pizza, and I decided I would film and record it and show you guys what I made. And so basically this video I'm going to walk through all the steps of how I made it, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. It was fun to make it, because I mean, when you're making pizza like this, like, half the fun is actually making it your own creation. And that's what I did. So I'll show you guys what I did, and maybe you guys can do your own thing and send me comments and pictures. Alright. Okay, so now on to the ingredients that you'll need. So as you can see, I have yellow cornmeal. That's going to be to put on the pizza peel so the dough doesn't stick. The pizza dough I actually got from a local Italian bakery that makes their dough every day for bread, so you know it's going to be good. I just got their pack. It's usually, I don't know how much it weighs. It just comes in a pack. I ended up splitting this in half and made 2 pizzas. And then I have a cheese grater and oregano and smoked paprika, because I love smoked paprika and I think it goes good on everything. But you can put whatever you want on it. And then actually going on to the pizza, I went down to the local olive oil store and got this garlic olive oil that smelled amazing. I'm also going to use minced garlic. And then I got 3 cheeses from a local cheese and wine store. I got Prescott cheese, Manchego cheese, and some weird, I can't pronounce, gooey cheese, and imported mozzarella cheese from that Italian bakery. Oh, I can't wait. And then I got just maybe like a quarter pound of pepperoni and fresh cut basil from my basil bush tree, whatever you want to call it. Don't forget the pizza peel. You want to get real fancy. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, and it comes in handy. This is what I make the pizza on. I'll put the cornmeal on it and put the dough on it. Alright, so then the next thing you want to do is start sprinkling the cornmeal generously on the pizza peel, or whatever you want to put it on, a pan or whatever. It's just so the dough doesn't stick to the pan before you put it in the oven. I am using a pizza stone that I preheated in the oven. So once you have enough cornmeal laid down, you're going to prep the dough on the pizza peel. For the next part, I kind of broke the dough in half into a ball, and then I started stretching it. Once I stretched it out as much as I could, I laid it down on the pizza pan and kind of just did a final stretch. Trying to make sure I didn't have any rips or tears. This part was probably the most difficult, because you want it to be a certain size and look a certain shape, and, you know, stereotypical round pizza, but that wasn't me. I get this weird square rectangular pizza, so yeah, that's what I got, and it was a decent size, a good, like, personal pizza. So I'm not complaining. It makes it more artisanal, or whatever that stupid word is. Makes it fancy, being all rustic. Okay, so once you have the dough stretched out and on the pizza fork thing, whatever you want to call this thing, this is where people's recipes will differ. But essentially, I took my garlic olive oil that I got, and I drizzled a little bit on the crust, on the dough, and then I brushed that baby. I just wiped her up and just made sure I got every nook and cranny. Just so I didn't want to put too much, because I mean, it's olive oil and it has a garlic taste, so I don't want it to be over the top. Plus, since I'm also adding minced garlic, which you can get anywhere, essentially, I just took a fork and scooped out some. Just sprinkled it over a little bit in little chunks. Hard part was getting it evenly tried brushing it around, but that wasn't really working. Yeah, so I don't know. It's harder than it looks to spread little bits of garlic around. But, you end up just get the garlic around as much as you can. In the end, it really doesn't matter, as long as you're not biting into a giant clump of minced garlic. This was enough finely spread around to work. Yeah, and then the last part, which hate on me at the end, because I don't know if this was actually a good idea or not, but I poked the dough so I could break up any air bubbles that were gonna happen when I cooked the dough. Because the last thing I wanted to do was to just puff up, because I'm not a fan of puffy pizza. I'm more of a thin crust person, but hindsight, it's still puffed up. Alright, so this part's a little not unconventional, but I like to cook my dough a little bit so like it's crusty all the way through. So basically once I had the sauce on, I put the dough on the pizza stone and let it cook for about like 10 minutes and let it rise and start to get a little crispy before I put on the toppings. But do whatever you want to do. There's no right way to do it. So for the cheeses, my base is going to be the imported mozzarella. But I wanted to spice it up a little bit. So I went down to a cheese and wine store and I got some cheese remnants, which is leftover cheese from like the big, more expensive wheels. And I just picked up 3 individuals that the clerk said were pretty good. I got a wedge of Prescott cheese, which I guess is a local Irish cheese. I don't know. It was pretty good. Then I got Manchego, which is a good melting cheese. Hard but kind of soft. And then I got this weird gooey stuff. Hindsight, it tasted like crap, and I did not actually put it on the pizza, so stay away. After avoiding that weird gooey cheese, I grated the other cheeses and put it in a bowl and mix it up so like I wasn't getting chunks of the same cheese. Just make sure you do that beforehand and you'll get a good mix of cheese all over. So like I said, I have a 1/4 pound of pepperoni slices. So I'm just cutting them up into eighths, I guess, to sprinkle on the pizza. You can leave them as wholes or halves, or I don't know, throw it in a blender. Who knows? Who cares? It's whatever you want to do. I thought this was pretty easy. You, just stack it, cut it, trim it, and then after you can just sprinkle it over in chunks and pieces. Do whatever you want. And obviously you don't have to just do pepperoni. It can be vegetable, salami, other meats, cheeses. But I like pepperoni pizza, so that's what I went with. So after you've got all your ingredients ready, I would take out your kind of semi-cooked pizza dough. As you can see, it's still puffed up, regardless of me stabbing it repeatedly. But yeah, so just put it on the pan and douse that baby in whatever you want to put on it. Again, for me, I was still trying to get rid of these stupid bubbles. I don't know, hate me, whatever. So I stabbed a little bit. I stabbed it a little bit more. Didn't do anything. And most of the olive oil kind of melted in, so I put some more on and just started spreading the garlic around a little bit more, just to make sure it was evenly spread and still moist. Yeah, and just like I said, I still thought it needed a little bit more because it looked like it absorbed a little bit in the bread, which isn't bad, but I do want to kind of use this as a sauce, so it does need a little bit of liquid. But again, I did get garlic olive oil, so I was worried that the garlic taste was going to be a little bit strong. In the end, it had a good balance of flavor, but just don't be excessive. And like I said, I just try to just get every piece of the dough, and then Again, order is based on personal preference, but I sprinkled this with some oregano, dried oregano, because any pizza I've ever had has always had oregano on it. It just adds a great, rich flavor to it. Yeah, so again, whatever you want to add to it. Now this is the magic. Alright, so top it with whatever you want to do, but for me, I went and got this dough and I got this imported Italian mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna use this cheese. So I'm just sprinkling it all over. I'm not really a big fan of like the big puffy crust. I like cheesy crust. I should have even stuffed the crust if I thought about it. But I just put the cheese on the entire thing. Tried not to really leave too much of a perimeter of crust. I just went all in with the cheese. So yeah, once you have a good base of mozzarella cheese, if you have additional cheeses, this is when you can probably start sprinkling it in. Yeah, so I just covered it a little bit. Just make sure I got it evenly distributed. Again, I got the cheese, so I'm going to use it. And then the pepperoni, I just just sprinkle that thing all over that thing. As much as or a little as you want. Again, it doesn't have to be pepperoni. If you want to add anything else, it's good. I think hindsight, I think like a regatta cheese or a goat cheese probably would have been good on this. Like a different, more melty texture would have been great. Maybe some vegetables instead of just bread, cheese, and meat. Yeah, vegetables probably would have been good. And then because I have so much of this goddamn cheese, I sprinkled the rest of it over it. To kind of just bake onto the pepperoni, because that's how we do up in here. Okay. Alright, so once you have all your toppings picked, you can put it back in the oven and cook the rest of it. I put this in for about 15 minutes, just because I already pre-cooked the crust. So, and once the timer goes off, let it cool and you're done. And then when you take it out of the oven, you have this beauty. Very rustic, very personal. And again, this ended up making like a decent sized personal pizza. Good flavors. I let it cook, like I said, for 15 minutes. And then this is very depending on how crispy you want it. This can be shorter or longer. But yeah, and I just let it cool for maybe like 5-10 minutes, and then just cut that baby. In pre-cooking the crust, when you cut it, the crust is kind of cooked up a little bit, so it's a little bit thicker all the way through. It's crunchy all the way through, and I love the texture that the cornmeal gives on the bottom, because you have this nice rich gooey cheese and this like punchy, flavorful garlic olive oil, and then you have like this delicious dough that's handmade every single day, but you have to find a bakery that does that. And then you have the cornmeal, which once it's cooked, it has this like kind of grainy, sharper taste to it that I like. And then I topped it off with a little bit of smoked paprika. I probably should have put it on before I cooked it, but either way, once it comes out of the oven, just sprinkle it on. And I topped it off with some basil. I ripped up some leaves and sprinkled it over. And again, you can put this before you put the cheese on, before you put it in the oven. There's a lot of different choices. But I really like this, and it's really good as cold pizza too, because then the cheese hardens a little bit and it's still crunchy, and it works out very well. So if you guys like that video, please like and subscribe. And let me know what you guys like to make your pizza out of. What your recipes are. I'd like to know, so I would like to try some. This was fun. It was fun experimenting with the different cheeses and the dough and everything. And again, like I said, the gooey, weird cheese did not work out. And I did try it, and it was probably the grossest cheese I've ever had. I should have probably taste tested it before I bought it, but it was like literally like $1. And I don't know. Next time I'll ask to taste test it. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Again, pictures would be awesome. Thank you, and if you try making this recipe, let me know how it goes.